Hey, what's up? It's Brianna, and today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up and my May TBR. So I know I haven't been filming a lot of videos, and that's because I've been kind of in a reading slump and haven't really felt like making videos. My husband and I actually lost our cat in the middle of last month, and it's kind of put a damper on my reading, so I haven't wanted to read very much, and yeah. But I did end up reading 11 and a half books in April, which is way more than the 4 that I wanted to read. Even though I didn't get through the 4 in my April TBR, that's okay because I kind of just read what I wanted to read. The first book that I'm going to talk about is The Good Guy by Dean Koontz, and I didn't finish this book. I got about 150 pages in and I didn't like it, so I decided to put it down. I don't know when I will pick it back up. The first book that I read in April was I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells, and I loved this book so much. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I have a full review for this book, and I will link that in the description if you would like to go check that out and learn more of my thoughts and what this book is about. The next book I read in April is The Lifeboat, Clique by Kathy Parks, and I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I do have a full review for it that I will link in the description as well if you would like to know more about this book too. The next book that I read is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I loved this book so much. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars, and it is by far my very favorite book to movie adaptation. The next book that I read is In Real Life by Jessica Love, and I am going to be doing a review for this book because it's fairly new, but I loved it. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It's about a girl and a guy who are best friends online, and then she goes to surprise him to meet him in real life and finds out that he has been lying to her about a couple of things. The relationship really reminded me of me and my best friend from high school. So those were all the books that I read in the beginning of April, and then in the middle of April was when my cat passed away, so I didn't read until Dewey's 24-hour readathon. I'm going to share with you the 5 books I read during the readathon and then the 2 that I finished afterwards. So the first book that I read during Dewey's 24-hour readathon is Cake Pop Crush by Suzanne Nelson, and I literally had no expectations for this book, and I was so wrong. I absolutely adored this book so much. It is such a cute contemporary. It was pretty predictable. I think I give it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read during Dewey's 24-hour readathon was The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, and I loved this book. I can see why people are terrified of Morlocks because they're the scariest shit I've ever read about. It was just freaky. And if you haven't read The Time Machine, I very much recommend that you check it out, especially if you're into sci-fi and classics or just even horror. So the next book that I read during Dewey's 24-hour readathon was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I really loved this book a lot. I think I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars, maybe. Between 4 and 5 stars on Goodreads. After We Were Liars, I picked up Nefertiti and Cleopatra by Julia Sampson, and this is a non-fiction book about Nefertiti and Cleopatra, and it was really interesting. It was kind of textbook style, so it got a little bit boring. I am super interested in ancient Egypt, and I think that this was really interesting for me. The last book I read during the readathon was Some Kind of Courage by Dan Gemeinhart, and this book was literally nothing like I expected. I thought it was going to be a contemporary, and it was like a historical fiction western novel, and I absolutely loved it. I would not have picked it up had I known that's what it was, but I'm so glad that I did. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and this is an amazing book about like family relations and, you know, who is really your family, and it's not always blood related people, and I really connected with him because of that. Then at the end of April I finished City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and this I was buddy reading with Jen over at Batman Reads Books. That was so much fun to buddy read with her. It was so cool for us both to kind of dive into the Mortal Instruments series and be able to talk to each other and kind of reflect what we've read and guess what's gonna happen and things like that. This book was pretty predictable, I think, for both of us. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. The book did improve from the beginning to the end. It improved a lot. So I'm excited to continue on with the series, and especially because Jen is also going to read City of Ashes with me. The last book that I read in April was Flawed by Cecilia Ahern. This book I got in the April Owl Crate. I did read this book extremely quickly. I absolutely loved it. It has been getting so much shit on Goodreads and I did not want to read it. I wasn't looking forward to it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Like, this is my favorite dystopian series. It's the only one that I've read, and I'm going to be doing a full review on this as well to kind of tell you why I liked it and maybe why you might not like it, because I know that this book's been getting a lot of crap, but I don't get it. Then in the very last days of April, I started The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. I got about 100 pages in before May, and I'm really enjoying this, so I'm hoping to finish this one within the next few days. So those were the 11 books I finished in April and the 2 that I started, and now we're gonna get on to my May TBR. Now, I know I didn't get to all the books on my April TBR, but I was in a reading slump and didn't really want to read a classic, and I couldn't get through The Good Guy by Dean Koontz. This month I'm going to give myself a bunch of contemporaries and hope that I can get through all of them. The first book that I want to read in May is the rest of The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. I just want to get this book finished, and I don't think that will be a problem because I do kind of like it so far, and I think it will get better. And I can't really tell you that much about the story because I don't even really know. I didn't read the synopsis and I still don't really know what it's about, so yeah, we're just gonna go with it. All I know is that it's magical realism. Yeah. The next book that I want to read in May is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, and this is about a girl who gets raped by her brother's best friend, and it's following her for her 4 years in high school and kind of how it's changing her and how she's repressing things and dealing with things. And I think even though it sounds pretty heavy, I think I'll enjoy it. I hope. It just sounds like a book that you can kind of get through a little bit quicker, and I'm hoping that that is the case. Then in May, I want to read You're Baking Me Crazy by Suzanne Nelson, and this is the second book in her Foodies books. They're not really companion novels or a series or anything like that, but I absolutely loved Cake Pop Crush, so I do want to read the rest of her books, and this is the next one, so I'm excited to get into it. Then of course I want to read a very summery fun book, and I chose The Summer of Chasing Mermaids by Sarah Auckler. I read #Scandal by Sarah Auckler and I really enjoyed it a lot. So I'm excited to pick up this one, especially I just love the cover and it just looks fun and summery and really cute, so yeah. The last book that I want to read in May is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, and I want to get a new copy of it as well because this one is super fucked up, but yeah. I'm excited to buddy read this with Jen, and just see where the series goes from where it left off at City of Bones. Yeah, the ending of City of Bones surprised me a lot, so I'm excited to start this like ASAP. So yeah, my 21st birthday is at the end of this month, so I think I might do like a drunk booktube video of some sort. I think that would be really fun. So that is all for my April wrap up and May TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you would like to. My Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram will all be linked in the description as well if you would like to find me on any social media. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!